I'm ready. What up? Let's get to it. So we got to be real. Let's be real about how do we feel as Vikings fans about the Minnesota Vikings maneuvers that have been made? How do you feel about the draft, the overall team? And if you ask me, the way I feel about the overall team, I think you know my answer already. Like I said, around what preseason of last year, right? Training camp. I said I'm excited about the team from last year, but not only that, I said I'm excited about the future of this team, huh? The depth, the depth chart that this team potentially has, baby. Heavy, huh? You hear me? Period. I said that watching them this preseason. Oh yeah. I said everything looks smoother. The offense looked different. Players look better, you know. And a lot of people say, like I said, oh, it's just preseason, but you can see how good your backups are, what your depth really is during preseason, right? Et cetera, et cetera. You dig me? You get my drift. That's why preseason is about the younger players, the backup veteran players, players who still have a chance on the brink, getting a shot, building your depth, building your depth. How does your depth chart look against other teams' depth charts? You hear me? You dig me? That's what it's about, baby. Period. So I'm excited about the future of this team. Very excited. I'm excited about JJ McCarthy and how great he will be. Yeah, I said it, how great he will be. I think this is the perfect storm brewing, huh? With him and Kevin O'Connell working as a unit, as a team. I think it will get spooky. It will get scary for every NFL team, baby. Period. I understand. He's a rookie, allegedly rookie. Throw that in there. Even though he's got 2 years in of the mental part of it, period. And we know that's his strong points, at least if he is who we think he is, who he says he is. No, he ain't just gonna get up there and talk trash on that podium for a reason, correct? No, I feel like he's standing on business. He's standing on all 10 when he says he is prepared and ready to be the starter for the Vikings. I don't think he's fluking, just talking, huh? Nah, man, kill that noise, homie. Kill that noise. You hear me? I think he's ready to put in work, ready to play ball. Win, lose, or draw, he's locked in. See, he got his weight up, physical aspect of it, coming back looking good, getting in shape, throwing the ball around. Give me a second. Let me chart this up here. So he will ball. Yeah, JJ McCarthy will ball, correct, in my opinion, homie. For real. And I think the Vikings will be a better team this year, a better team this season. Yeah. Especially a better team as far as when playoff time comes around. You know, I think they have built the trenches enough to have a real chance, Now, we know injuries play a part, a major role. Got to see how players pan out. You know, got to see how the draft goes. It's all a draw to straw, like I always say. But at the end of the day, I see a lot of potential, a high upside, dog. You hear me, bro? With all these players, with this roster, dog. People they bring in, the protection they put around JJ McCarthy, the great coaching staff that still remains, the great Brian Flores that still remains. Like I told you, I never thought B Flow would leave easy. He would never leave easy. When I said he wanted that smoke, when he took that smoke, because yeah, he really liked that. Yeah, he really want that smoke round yonder. What's this, year 2? Yeah, year 2. You know, going into year 3, think about how it's gonna look, how exquisite it will be, how spooky it will be. With the talent to match, period. He's been doing this for 2 years with lack of talent at certain areas. If you try to deny that fact, you are delusional, dog. Period. Heavy, homie. Delusional as hell. We know exactly who Brian Flores is. You know, his whole debacle with the NFL, that's his business, that's their business. Only they know for real to scoop the 411. All I know, huh, is he's a defensive coordinator for the Vikings, and he's doing a very good job. Oh yeah, very good job, dog. You ask me, doing very well. Now watch him work with the personnel, from the trenches to the backups to the starters. Don't forget about Taki Tamani. Please don't forget about Taki Tamani. I hear the Vikings had another great UDFA class. Fire them comments up, baby. Fire them comments up. Let me know. Let me know, dog. I heard the UDFA class is crazy. You can never know what to expect from that class every year, especially the way the Vikings handpick them. We've seen Ivan Pace Jr.'s already, baby, balling out of control, huh? Heavy. And we got some more. We got some more hidden around yonder, and you're gonna see them this year, guarantee that. But getting an excellent UDFA class ranked high, very important towards your roster. A few of those players really have a chance. Some might even make the team, period. You know, it's tough to scout every great player, every good player, or every player who can be a hit, late round hit, undrafted hit. You know, it's not easy to sit back and scout the Ivan Pace Juniors of the draft, UDFA, everybody counted out, gave up on. Said he's too short, too small, this and that, long arms ain't this, he ain't that. He gets washed by linemen, but he only continues to progress and get better. He will change the game at the linebacker position as far as for so-called smaller linebackers who they say can't play in the NFL. And look this year for Brian Flores to put him in better situations as well, where he can really utilize his speed and his skills, his ability to get to the ball efficiently, right, and make the short tackle. He can light a motherfucker up, but he likes to make the short tackle. We already know he can get to the quarterback quickly and swiftly. Huh? Brian Flores is really going to scheme it up this season. I really believe that. I feel that for real. It's that time for real. The time is now for real. You hear me? But the defense, dog, like I say, Taki Tamani, big body. I expect more from him. He dealt with injury a lot last season. Like I say, I love what I saw out of him in the preseason. He even got some rotation during the regular season before I guess he succumbed to injury. But if he can stay on point, on task, and he can be productive, some may say, that's a win for the Vikings, a win for the Vikings. But I think he's a big boy up front with a lot of potential. I don't believe that, homie. Big dude, brolic dude, big nose tackle type. Take up space. If he builds his strength this offseason, if he really gets into his frame, learns the game, put good weight on, athletic or speed, quick, efficient weight on. You hear me, dog? Increases quickness, power, hand strength, hand placement, hand play. Well, he can be an elite player. Period, bruh. Everybody's good who gets developed the best. Bottom line, for the most part. Correct. Everybody's good who gets developed the best. Gotta keep saying, I'm gonna say it to you again, man. Great coaches is important. Coaching is the most important part of a team. No debating. Yeah, all the talent in the world, where does it go? What does it lead to? With lack of leadership, i.e. coaching, huh? Heavy, bro, period. That's the big separation. And what's other factors that play a role, but that's the main separation right there around yonder. You hear me? Believe that. But yeah, very excited about this defense, excited of what it will and can be. The additions of Isaiah Rodgers, big pickup, like I say, speed cornerback, can get sticky in man-to-man coverage. I guarantee that's why Flo wanted him. Correct? Huh. Jonathan Allen, elite when he's healthy, huh? Hargrave, elite when he's healthy, right, big dog? No denying that, no debating. Period. Hands down, man down. Let's get it. The defense, though, the defense. Ooh. Thought there was something last year. Oh, side note, shout out Gink, man. Shout out Van Ginkel. Big gang. Make them think, bro. Make them think. You hear me? The Vikings extend him to a 1 year deal, an extra year, dog. He got his guapino, got some good solid guapino in that year. Another season, another chance to prove himself as far as injuries as well. But Van Ginkel, call him Gink, huh? First one to call him Gink, believe that? He made some big plays. We know who he is. Why even wait? Extend as long as you can. Work the numbers, work the system. You can't forget at the end of the day, the NFL is a business, big business, baby, booming, huh? But Andrew Van Ginkel, you get it done. You get a sealed deal delivered. You hear me, dog? He's a major asset to the team. Once again, Quasi cooking in the offseason. And if this draft class can line up, a draft class that I'm very impressed with after further research, huh? After further research, a draft class that looks very promising. Got a speedy receiver who can contribute right away. You know, got a guard, Donovan Jackson. Looks like he can be a monster. Well mannered, well matured, but violent on the field. Just needs some tweaks in technique. He could end up being the best guard slash tackle. So don't forget he's versatile. He can do all things. But he could end up being the best guard slash tackle in the NFL as far as a rookie. Huh? Hey, that's the expectations, correct? Don't be shocked, bro. Then the tight end, Gavin Bartholomew, my bad. Gavin Bartholomew. Jordan Addison spoke highly of him, period. Spoke highly of the dude, huh? Believe that, you heard me? Yeah. Said he can ball. He's a receiving tight end, can route run like crazy. A dog out there. Yeah, a big dog out there on that field, man. Okay, bro. Let's get it. Let's get it, man. Oh, Kobe King. Kobe King. Yeah. Fast linebacker, aggressive, speedy. Look kind of similar to Ivan Pace style, a little bigger than Ivan Pace, right? I believe taller. But speed, boy, run side to sideline, get to that football, get to that quarterback. Look for him and somebody to bang it out for a spot. Brian Asamoah might be up out of there. Heavy, bro, period. I'm excited, man, about the training, the off-season workout program. Hope them boys getting their weight right, getting their weight up or down, whichever it needs to be. You know, the trainers, for the conditioning coaches, keeping them right. You know, the nutritionists keeping their meals right, keeping them healthy, huh? The physical therapists, the names they love to name. I heard they hired a new nutritionist. So can he really give them the correct food to fuel them on a week in, week out basis, huh? Period, homie. Will everybody step up and improve? That's the big question. Yeah, but the Vikings are right there. The Vikings are right there. They're right there on the brink, dog, of history, of greatness, huh? Of power, whatever you want to call it, huh? Of finally taking respect, whatever you want to say. You know, they can definitely. They're building themselves up into a team that is really Super Bowl caliber. Only thing held them back last year, piss poor line showed up in the playoffs like it always does. Your quarterback, who can't handle the pressure, showed up in the playoffs at the biggest moment like it always does. Huh? Heavy, bro. Bottom line. But a lot of things to be excited about if you're a Vikings fan, man. A lot of things, homie. Just the chemistry, you know, the what 4 years in, the relationships, the bonds, the rhythm, the frequencies, huh? You know, the real relationships that were built, bonds that have been built, bro, and it's just waiting to erupt. They're very close, though. Very close. They got to zone in and lock in, take that next step. Then you talk about the offensive lineman free agencies, man. Will Fries, Ryan Kelly. A lot of people want to disrespect Will Fries and disrespect his game. But like I say, he's a mauler. Ryan Kelly, a true veteran, still playing at a high productive level, still angry, still mad, and still loves the game on top of that. Still willing to put the work in. We here, man. SKOL Vikes. But you need to run the ball. We can finally be able to run the ball, score the ball in the red zone, goal line when it matters for real, put points on the board. Don't have to rely on throwing the ball on the goal line because your run game, boom, get it up in there for the touchdown round yonder, right? Huh? You got Jordan Mason now in the backfield, hard runner, power runner, dog, trippy runner, angry runner, tote that tater, huh? You got Aaron Jones. He can run angry too, but mostly of a swift running back, you know, like a gazelle out there running around yonder on the field. In and out of his cuts, smooth, quick, smaller side, agile, speed, get up out of there. A big concern about his injuries, definitely that. But at the end of the day, Aaron Jones gives you what he gives you. Rushed for over 1,000 yards this season, so you can't say he's declining as far as performance. Right? You know? But you understand why the Vikings made a trade for Jordan Mason as well, to bring a fresh back in here, a younger back who can take more of the load or take all the load, however it goes, right? However it goes. Yeah, man. Very excited though. Can't wait to see what comes. It's Asante Samuel, Rumor speculation been going around. We're gonna see what happens with that. I ain't tripping on that either way. Would I like to see him acquire Asante Samuel somehow? Hell yeah. Just for more depth, more depth. Right now, they're probably lacking it. That's where they're lacking the most, that depth on the depth chart. Is it the cornerback position? Probably. You know? Yeah, that's how I feel about it, dog. Very excited to see this team play, see this team perform this season and seasons beyond. Heavy, bro. They're gonna win that ring. They're gonna win that ring real soon. Yeah, stand on that 10 toes down, homie. You're big skull here. Hey man. Fire them comments up. Feedback is much appreciated. How you feel about the Vikings thus far? Like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell. Make sure you hit that bell. Support the ground, support the channel. Big SKOL here. SKOL Vikes, win, lose, or draw forever. Yeah. Believe that.